This is episode 21 of This Makes Me Happy. If you're in the Philadelphia area, please join me at the Philadelphia Podcast Festival. I will be at Tattooed Mom on South Street, recording live on Sunday, August 21st at 4 p.m. Visit phillypodfest.com for a full schedule and other details. Hello, and thank you for joining me in a new episode of This Makes Me Happy. Today's episode is a little different. Today I'm on my own, and instead of talking about what makes someone happy, I want to share with you what I've learned so far through this project. A few episodes ago, I talked with my friend Rachel Elner about how building creative communities makes her happy. And in addition to recording an episode, we took the opportunity to catch up and talk shop. We talk about expertise, and specifically in the context of this project, because it's not about sharing expert insights into happiness, but it's more about individual stories. Rachel paraphrased John Nasser, who is the host of Hacked Entrepreneur and the Showrunner podcasts, saying that if you want to become an expert in any area, all you have to do is talk to 20 experts on that topic and you will become an expert. I recently found the original quote, and John said you only need to talk to 5 people, but I actually think it's a more robust exploration after 20 conversations. And truth be told, I didn't find the quote in time to do after 5 conversations. So while my focus is on individual stories, and I still don't claim to be an expert on happiness because that's not the point of this project, I've learned a few lessons from the past 20 conversations, and I want to share them with you. The first lesson I want to share is how simple things make a big impact on people's happiness. And we hear this often, it sounds like a cliche, but talking with people about what makes them happy shines a light on this concept. Simple things can make a huge impact. And sometimes we have to look at the bigger picture to understand the connection. When I tell people I want to talk with them, some think that they have to have big, impressive answers to what makes them happy, but I don't think that this is necessary. My guests share stories about what makes them happy, and oftentimes we see how little things snowball for them. Some people bring up things that change their lives that others would consider commonplace. For example, most people don't think much about drawing or writing, but Debbie Millman shared how creative making makes her happy, and how after 2 decades of focusing on her career and not being creative, starting a podcast, writing, and making visual essays helped her find her voice. Most of us listen to music as entertainment, but Jacqueline Brieux mentioned that music has been her companion through good and bad, and it helped her overcome many adversities in life. And when a simple subject isn't life-changing, it can still have a huge impact on a person's happiness. We heard from Michael Stinson, who gave us a list of different things that make him happy, and even something as simple as lemons was able to elicit a sensual experience that brings him great joy and is worth exploring in depth. The next lesson I want to share is the importance of acknowledging what makes us happy. My guests say that thinking about what they will answer to what makes them happy has catalyzed a positive internal process for them. Even if they never thought about it before, thinking of what makes them happy helped them take positive steps to be happy. Most of my guests express how positive their experience has been for them in many ways, from enhancing their moods to helping them introspect. And I recently got an email from someone who I talked for a future episode, and she said that just talking about the things that make her happy was almost a meditative process. I got feedback from listeners that is also very powerful. One of my friends shared that by listening to a podcast, she felt empowered to acknowledge that the different things that make her happy and to embrace the idea that food, whether it's cooking it or eating it, makes her happy. And the most powerful feedback I've gotten so far, the most moving story, came from a mother of 2, and I get chills every time I think about this. She has been seeing several doctors because her younger child has a few health issues, and most of the doctors painted a very grim picture. But after countless medical visits with very negative reports, she saw a doctor that gave her a much more positive outlook and reassured her that everything would be okay. Shortly after this, the mother listened to the podcast and it helped her realize how she had focused so much on the health issues that she didn't allow herself to simply enjoy her child to the fullest and to embrace the idea that her children are wonderful. So listening to the podcast helped her embrace having more fun with them and focus less on the health issues. Something as simple as thinking what makes you happy can expand and influence other positive feelings and actions. Something else I've learned is about what makes us happy. It's interesting to hear what makes different people happy. The range of topics is extremely varied and individual interests are highlighted. Many experts explore how we can all be happy, but I enjoy exploring what makes different people singularly happy. I've noticed a few trends. Some people are happy by helping others. Some people believe happiness lies within. Some people find happiness in creative activities, and some people find happiness in simple things. I've heard people talk about very concrete things that make them happy, objects or a certain activity, while others have a more abstract subject for what makes them happy. But beyond these trends, I am interested in learning how we can explore sources of happiness that are unique to each of us. Even when we can group or categorize what makes people happy, the same thing can make people happy in very different ways, which further highlights the personal natures of these stories. And while it's important to continue with the research that helps us become universally happier, I believe we should also embrace the individual aspects of happiness. I also want to share how happiness and cheerfulness are different. I'm a happy person, I'm happy with my life and where I'm headed, but I don't think I'm particularly stereotypically cheerful person. I tend to be relatively literal and somewhat serious by default. And I don't think there's a discrepancy here. We tend to think that cheerful people are happy people and happy people are cheerful, but this isn't always the case. Sometimes when I ask people for an interview and they tell me that they're not particularly happy people, and I think they're saying they're not cheerful, and therefore they think they can't contribute to the conversation about happiness. But most of us have sources of happiness and joy in different things, even if it's not cheerful, even if most people don't consider it to be a source of happiness. I've also learned about what's important to people, and I think there's definitely a correlation between what makes you happy and what's important to you. Based on my observations, I think that the question, what makes you happy, oftentimes yields an answer that we can expect from asking what's important to you. Not everything that makes us happy is important. Not everything that's important makes you happy. For example, going to the doctor for regular checkups is important, but most of us are not happy to do so. And some might say that watching bad television makes them happy, but it's probably not important. But when we distill it to the core, when we talk about the bigger picture, the things we derive from happiness from are generally things that are important to us. For example, Stephen West, he said that having the luxury of time makes him happy. And when we dig deeper into the conversation, we can say that having time is important for Stephen because it allows him to design network patterns, travel, and teach. Mino Yoshida said that life's potential makes her happy, and we see that in her work. She explored how to help people achieve their life potential. So I think it's safe to say that by answering what makes her happy, we saw what is important for Minwei. I think that exploring the things that make us happy can help us figure out what we value and what we should be investing more time and energy on. My goals. A few episodes ago, I talked with Animian about how the ability to invent your future makes him happy. And after recording, he asked me, when will this project make you happy? And my immediate response was that I'm already happy. I'm extremely satisfied with the journey, and it has been such a great experience so far. I truly am happy with this makes me happy. But that doesn't mean I don't have bigger goals. My dream is to continue working on this project for years, and I want to grow it to the point where it's self-sustainable. I would love to grow the audience. I want to expand the platform with blogs and videos, and I would like to reach out to more people through speaking and writing. I would love to get to a point where I can get sponsors that will allow me to expand the team and provide more content to reach more people. and to get to the point where I can easily reach out to dream guests like Tim Gunn or Dan Savage or Daniel Laporte to be on the podcast. The positive feedback I've received so far has assured me that the project has a positive impact in other people, and I would love to focus more time and resources on it so more people can enjoy it. I want to take this milestone to express my gratitude. I am forever grateful to all of you who have helped me make this project happen. Those of you who have pushed me to start this project, including Jason Zappolo, who has backed me up from day one and has been a great consultant and audio editor. And Kathleen Shannon, you heard from her in the first few episodes. And in a conversation we had, she motivated me to take action to just start the podcast. Those of you who have given me your time and supported the project by letting me record our conversations about what makes you happy, I'm forever grateful that you've given me your time and attention to make this happen. To those who have connected me with different guests, thank you very much. To those of you who work on the production of the podcast, I already mentioned Jason, who edits all the episodes. Also, Orly Margulis, who is constantly helping me with social media. And to Rocio Castañeda for weekly show notes, newsletter content, and general consulting. I'm very thankful for every single listener, and especially those who send me supportive feedback. I appreciate every single person helping me make this project happen. It's definitely not a one-person show. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of people. I want to thank you all for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoy it. And if you like this episode, please subscribe to iTunes and leave a review on the iTunes store. That is the best way for other people to find us. You can find notes and links at thehappypodcast.com/episode 21. And you can read the full article, almost a transcript of this episode at thehappypodcast.com/21learn. That's the number 21learn. As always, you can visit thehappypodcast.com for past episodes, resources, and for ways to reach us. And don't forget to look us up on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at thehappypodcast.com. And please come back next week for another episode. Have a great week.